Hello again, everybody. This is attorney Mark Brunner. Thank you so much for joining me here today on Talking Texas Law. Well, today let's talk about cameras in the courtroom, specifically videoing events that are occurring inside our Texas courts. We have two different sort of competing maxims that are in issue here when we talk about cameras in the courtroom. The first is that Texas courts generally are open to the public. However, Texas has given all its judges very, very broad authority to control the events that happen within their particular courtroom. And especially that comes to media access and also cameras in the courtroom. And in this day and age, when everyone pretty much has a high capacity, good camera in their purse, on their person, in their jacket pocket, in their back pocket, i.e. a cell phone, what does that really mean when you have the tension between security to the courtroom and versus public access and openness to the public? Well, again, a Texas judge here having that broad authority in his or her courtroom to control things, you're going to find out that while it's pretty much free access inside of the Texas court to come and sit, take notes, watch, listen, and learn, videoing, filming, taking photographs, that's going to be a hard proposition unless one is truly a credentialed member of the local or national media. Someone may want to come in and say, look, I'm a journalist, I have a blog, it's my right to be able to film in here. Not going to happen. Maybe out in the hallways, maybe out in the parking lot, great, wonderful, but inside of a Texas court, unless someone is a credentialed member of the media, their access to be able to film freely in the courtroom is going to be severely limited, if not just outright banned. Judges could even, with members of the media, say, and this happens very frequently, look, I don't want to junk up my courtroom with a bunch of cameras. I'm going to say that there is allowed to be one camera in the courtroom, and we're going to treat that as what's called a pool camera. So what does that mean? That means that I'm going to tell the media, you get one camera in here. It's going to be right there. Here are the rules. But you have to then, I'm going to allow that camera in there, but that camera person has to share the video with everybody else, all the other members of the media. That way you don't have 6 or 7 different channels fighting over who has what angle there in the courtroom. It's going to be one unobtrusive camera there, but that cameraman has to, no matter who they work for, share with all the other members of the media that are basically waiting outside. Prevents there from being, 15 cameras in there and people are tripping over wires and jockeying for position. Well, what are the kind of things that even if someone is allowed to film in a Texas courtroom, what are some of the do's and do not do's that are at play in a Texas court? One of the major things is Texas courts, the judges will not allow the members of the media to film the jury. Whether that's the deliberation, reading out the verdict, coming and going, standing up, sitting down, jury selection, or what's called voir dire. A fastest way for a camera person to get in trouble in a Texas court is to try to film, accidentally or otherwise, the members of the jury. That would be just a complete no-no for security purposes. Other than that, the courts generally are pretty liberal about allowing the members of the media there who do have credentials, who are allowed to film. Certainly in a criminal case, the litigants, that includes a defendant in a criminal case, his or her defense counsel, prosecutors, court staff, the judge himself or herself, and also witnesses. One caveat is if it's a child witness, the court will absolutely say that is not allowed. The cameras must be generally turned off, sometimes even taken out of the courtroom entirely, so there's no chance that a child witness in a case would be filmed. Also, juvenile proceedings are not open to the public. Sometimes that's not really enforced. I mean, if people come in to try to watch juvenile proceedings, a court here in Texas may or may not say, no, if you're not don't have business here, you've got to leave. But they do have that power. So if it's a juvenile court, whether it's a trial or a hearing or just a regular day in juvenile docket, generally not just cameras are not allowed, but even members of the public are not allowed. That's just, again, to protect the confidentiality of people that are charged with a juvenile offense. They've got more protections than just the average adult defendant or the adult litigant. So those are some of the do's and don't do's here in Texas regarding cameras in the courtroom. Courts have been given broad authority to control what access they are going to allow. And just because someone thinks they are a journalist, thinks they're a member of the press because they got a blog or something, doesn't mean that they will be given free access to be able to film inside the courtroom. The courts have been given broad authority under the guise of security to be able to control what people film in the courtroom. So that's a little bit about media filming inside of a Texas courtroom. And again, as always, this video is being offered for educational and informational purposes only. It's not to be construed as giving specific legal advice and doesn't take the place of a true sit-down legal consultation. And if you like what you see, please consider subscribing to this channel or giving us a like down here at the bottom of the page. You'll also get, if you subscribe, notifications about future videos that we have here on Talking Texas Law. Again, this has been Attorney Mark Brunner. Thank you so much, and I'll see you all next time.